been hit by, you've been struck by, struck. Hello everybody, TK here, and it is finally time for the finale of Legacy Wave 1, and I've told myself that I'm not allowed to watch the new episode of Spy Family until I have recorded this video, so that is why it is coming to you. But without further ado, this is the finale, this is the final figure of Legacy Wave 1. With this, hopefully, by the time that this video goes out, I've pretty much recorded all of these like ahead of time, so yeah, hopefully by the time this goes out, Legacy Wave 2 will start to trickle out a little bit more. We'll have more to talk about, and I do also have one more figure I have to review. I've got Studio Series Wheeljack, so he'll also be coming if you guys are excited about that. But the final figure of Legacy Wave 1, and this is my favorite figure of the wave. I saved the best for last in my opinion. However, to address it real quick. So I want to address real quick the kind of controversy with this figure, because when it came out and I was seeing reviews for it, I figured that everybody was loving it. I figured everybody was just absolutely loving this figure, that it was like the best thing since sliced bread. And when I finally got one for myself, because I really didn't actually care that much about this release in the lead up to it, but then the reviews started saying it's like the fucking best thing ever. So I saw one at freaking Target. I made absolute sure that it was actually in there and it wasn't swapped. And I decided to give it a go and see if I liked it or not. And to my absolute surprise, I absolutely love this figure. But unfortunately, after I announced that I absolutely love this figure, I started seeing a lot of negative reviews for this. And it seems to be, what I've kind of noticed is, I watch a lot of different Transformer reviewers, and what I've kind of noticed with this guy is, if you are somebody who loved the original Laser Optimus Prime toy, if you had that toy as a kid and you're buying this to recapture the magic from that one, from what I've been hearing from the other people who are in that same boat as you, this figure is disappointing them. They don't like it. They much prefer the original figure. But then you have people like me who never had the original figure and absolutely love this thing, but because we don't have anything to compare it with. Now, in one counter argument I would like to make to the people who hate this figure because they think the old one is better, because there are a few, like to name a few, these are two channels that I absolutely love. I don't mean to throw shade at them. They're two of my favorite Transformer reviewers, actually. Hamman and TF Collector. These are two reviewers that I absolutely love that really do not like this figure whatsoever, because they had the original one, they loved it so much as a kid, and this one disappointed them. But my counter argument for that is, would you really have wanted this figure to literally be exactly the same as the original version of this figure? Because then you just have two versions of the exact same figure. Yeah, sure, one might be a little bit updated in terms of articulation and the look, but you still have essentially the exact same toy twice. What is the point of that? Not to mention, this day and age, with our new engineering, we constantly find new, different, and inventive ways of transforming our figures, which this figure does. This figure has an extremely complicated and, in my opinion, very intuitive and very fun transformation. Compared to the original toy, which I don't have it, but from what I've seen of the transformation of the original toy, it literally, you punch it down, you collapse the legs down, you put the arms at the side, the head pops out, it goes into a little hole in the torso, and then the pylons close up to make the front of the truck. That's it. That's the transformation. That transformation would not cut it in this day and age. Like, one thing I want to say, like Hamman, once again, a reviewer I really like, he said in his video, why didn't they just make the transformation the exact same? I don't think anybody would complain. No, bro, everybody would have complained. Everybody would have complained if there was a transformation that fucking simple in this time, in the year of our Lord 2022, in the year of our Lord Lady Aqua 2022. There is absolutely no way that transformation would have cut it. There is just no fucking way in hell. Now, other arguments that I've seen from people say that this figure's not as good as the original. They don't like the chintzy wheels. Apparently the original figure had big, bulky wheels. I don't mind these so much. Once again, do keep in mind I have absolutely zero nostalgia for that original toy. So, once again, I don't have that trained eye that these other people I'm talking about probably have, because they love that figure so much. And I can absolutely see where they're coming from. Like, if one of my favorite Transformer figures of all time, you'll have to forgive me, I was messing around with him a little bit, is Energon Ironhide. This is one of my favorite Transformer figures of all time. Here, I'll fucking mess him. Okay, Energon Ironhide, one of my favorite Transformer figures of all time. I have a ton of nostalgia for this figure, and I still love it to this day. If a Legacy Energon Ironhide came out, which is honestly looking kind of likely with how Legacy is going, with the leaks we've gotten and what we've seen from Legacy with the Cybertron stuff and all that, it's not looking out of the realm of possibility. We have Armada stuff coming too, so I think Energon stuff is only a matter of time at this point. If we get a Legacy Energon Ironhide, and it turns out to be, and it's this figure just with a brand new transformation that's crazy and super complicated, like Override's. Override's transformation is so much more complicated than original figure. I don't think I would hate it. I really think I would actually really like it. I find these new transformations that Hasbro does where they stray away from this simplicity of old Transformers and go for these really inventive transformations where, spoiler alert, this guy's whole torso like falls apart and goes into an entire different shape. It's really cool, guys. I find these arguments, I'm just, once again, keep in mind, I have no trained eye when it comes to this stuff. I don't have the original toy. I never had it. But I find that I wouldn't just want the exact same figure again. That's just my counter argument. Now, with that being said, getting into the actual figure itself, which I actually realized I forgot his matrix, so I'm gonna go grab that real quick. Okay, getting back to it, here we have Laser Optimus Prime, and I think they did a great job on this guy, man. I really, really freaking love this guy. Here you have the head sculpt right here. Now, one thing I'll say about this guy out of the packaging, when I got him out of the packaging, his head was actually not on properly, wasn't on the ball joint properly, and that's been a common issue I've seen with a lot of people. But what you have to do is you have to disassemble the head, you have to open it up with a little knife if you want to fix it. It's not that big a deal if you don't want to fix it, but it definitely improves the figure overall. So I'd recommend looking up some tutorials online. You gotta cut the head in half, kind of separate from the pegs, and then you have to put it back on the ball joint and then plug it back together. Like I said, go look up some tutorials. Don't take my word for it. Definitely go look up some tutorials because they are out there. So yeah, once you do that, the head is perfect. It's on a ball joint. It is way, way better than what I got it out of the packaging. You have these awesome truck pylons right here, which look awesome, and I love these, and they open up, and you have some missiles in there as well. You also have some ports right there where you can plug blast effects as well. One issue I will give this guy is the hands. I don't love these really tiny little hands right here. These are a little bit chintzy in my opinion, and I would have much preferred if they could have used the same hands that we had on Earthrise Optimus Prime that had the opening hands. So definitely an issue I will give some merit to. But one issue I will not give some merit to is the issue that people are complaining about where his shoulder pylons don't move. Look, once again, I have no nostalgia for the original toy, but I really like the way this figure works with the shoulder pylons. I think this works really, really good. You have full unhindered articulation right here at the arms. This thing does not get in the way, and it looks cool up there. You can open this up, and you can just move this around, and you still have it. You can do some cool poses where it looks like he puts his arm up there, so he like activates it, and it goes, shoots it out right there. Super, super cool in my opinion. And I mean, if you had it like brought up like this, like he has his gun in the hand, and then this part bent back, you wouldn't be able to use the missile pods because it would be facing upwards. And I mean, if they're heat-seeking missiles, it'll be fine, but still, I like the fact that they did this change, and once again, it differentiates it, it gives it a new figure from the old one. You don't just have the exact same toy 2 times. If you already have the original toy and you love it, why would you want one that's exactly the same, doesn't have any of the magic that one had? Like, once again, one of my favorite toys, Transformers Energon Ironhide. If I just got this same toy again, like later on down the road in Legacy, why would I want that? Like, I mean, I guess the argument could be made for Skylinks, because Skylinks really is kind of just an updated version of the G1 toy, but I feel like there's an exception there, because you cannot do Skylinks, because I'm sure they probably could with how they managed to do it with Cybertron, but I don't really feel like it's in the cards to change Skylinks' transformation or design in any way, shape, or form. I don't know. I'm going to jump back into this guy and not waste too much more time on that. But getting into the torso piece right here, you do have a matrix of leadership right there, which is very, very, very cool. Now, I personally like to take this out because I don't like the fact that you can just see it through the window, because if you have it in there, you can just see it through the window. I like to just put it in my accessory drawer. And also, I'm going to say something real quick about this. I subscribe to the idea that Laser Optimus Prime, I like to think of him as his own character. I like to think of him as not the same character as Optimus Prime. Personally, that's just how I see it. That's just how I'm gonna do it. I like to keep. I'm gonna keep this guy on my shelf not as Optimus Prime, but as a completely different character. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Moving down to the legs, it looks really good. I love the sculpting right here on the legs. They do somewhat reuse the Earthrise Optimus Prime legs. They are mildly similar. The length is similar. They do the same thing with the gas canisters for the transformation. However, they are a bit more hollowed out in the back there. You can see compared to Earthrise Optimus Prime, the legs are hollowed out in the back. Definitely something I wish was not the case. I definitely wish those could have been filled out like they are on Earthrise Optimus Prime. And he does also still have that opening peg right there and the little port right there, which should not be there. But, no big deal. I don't mind that whatsoever. Let's see here. What else? Oh, he has a jetpack on his back because you have the truck cab right there on his back. And then you can open this up and you have this little piece right here. This piece flips out. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but if you flip this piece out, which is a little bit more difficult, then you get a jetpack back there. Now, there's no blast effect, so you can't, like, plug anything in there, but still, I think that is super, super cool. And I gotta say, once again, this dude is absolute hand candy. He feels amazing in his hand. The tolerances are absolutely phenomenal. Look how solid that is, man. Oh my goodness, so good. I absolutely love this guy. I really, really do. And standout pieces of articulation, you have wrist swivel. You probably could fake an ab crunch if you untransformed him a little bit, but no, actually, no, you couldn't. You could fake a back ab crunch, but you couldn't fake a front one. And you might not even be able to fake a back one either with the way the transformation works. We do have angle pivot, of course, which is absolutely lovely. We have wrist swivel, thank God. And I think that's just about everything. These pieces right here on are a little hinge, so you can bring them out, and they do just come out like that, which is really, really, really nice. So, yeah, I think that's just about everything to go over with the robot himself. Let's do some comparisons. Alrighty, and for comparison, bringing in the Siege Optimus Prime mold and the Earthrise Optimus Prime mold, so you can see how all of our Voyager Primes look together. I don't currently have the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, but it's on my list of ones I still need to pick up. But yeah, you can see, basically from the head, they're about the same size, although Laser Optimus Prime is a little bit bigger because of his shoulder pylons. But yeah, from where it counts, they're about the same size. Maybe he's a little bit taller, but still, they look pretty great together. And here he is with the Rodimus as well, with Kingdom Rodimus Prime right there. And here he is with the little Core Class Optimus Prime right there, which is being reissued in Legacy Wave 2. So if you miss it, you get a chance to get it again, which I'd recommend. It's a solid little Core Class. And getting into the accessories, now obviously you get the Matrix, but you also get these two really cool Energon weapons. Now these are pretty neat. You get a little axe right here. It looks a little bit more like a giant lollipop. And you get a sword right here that you can plug in. So you have him with both of his accessories right there. You have his big old axe right there and his big old sword. But me personally, what I prefer to do with these is that you can plug them together and you can get this absolutely huge, awesome sword right there. And this is personally how I like to display this guy. I really dig this insane cool ass sword right there. I just think that looks super badass, super cool. And if you want to, you can also take his Matrix and you have a peg right here that you can plug the Matrix onto right there. So you have that right there. I don't like that personally because I don't think he should have the Matrix for me because he's a different character than Optimus Prime, but a option that you can do nonetheless. So you can give him that. You can open up the pylons right there, have him give some rocket launchers and the sword right there. So cool, man. I just absolutely love this guy, man. He is seriously so cool. And then the other accessory we get is the trailer. Now, this is where the other argument is coming from the people who had the original toy. They hate this trailer. Now, I'll give this argument some merit. This trailer is certainly a downgrade from the original one. But here's my counter argument. I don't give a shit. I don't care about the trailer, and nobody does. Nobody cares about these freaking trailers. No matter what trailer it is, Optimus Prime, Rodimus Prime, they all just go in my closet, and then I never really touch them ever again. And to be honest, I think this is my favorite trailer of all of them because at least this one looks sick as fuck in vehicle mode. Now, I'm not saying those other two don't look great in vehicle mode as well, but you'll see when we get this guy transformed that he has like the coolest vehicle mode fucking ever, dude. So yeah, the trailer. I think it's really cool. Now you have some pretty good sculpting, molding right there. Looks really good. I like this red piece right here. And then you have this little piece right here. You can have it like this, and then you can bring this piece down to have it rest on a flat surface, which is absolutely excellent. And what you can do is you also have a gun up top here. So what you can do is you can pop this gun off of the top here, and this is another accessory that you can give to Laser Optimus Prime. You can give him this gun. Now, admittedly, I don't like this gun very much, but if you really need him to have a gun, there you go. You do have that as an option, or if you want to, you can also plug it into the back right there as well, which I do think looks kind of cool. And they actually show that you can plug it into the pylons, which looks so stupid. And also, one thing I just realized, you could also plug it into the leg down here, so you have like a leg gun right there. So that's also pretty cool. So all that is up to you, although could you also, can I put it in this peg right here? I've never tried this. Can I put it in this peg right there? Yeah, there you go. You can put it into that peg right there as well. So that's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of something from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know why. It just kind of looks like a sewer thing or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, you can plug that on to there. So you have that option as well. And then you can pop this piece open, fold these pieces out like this, rotate this around, fold this piece down, bring that piece around. Okay, you don't actually rotate that around. Bring that down. And there you have... Fold this little piece out, bring that gun up, and then you have the base mode. Now, admittedly, yes, it doesn't look as good as the original one, but it's actually kind of satisfying to do this, to kind of bring these pieces up right there, get all those pieces in there, and then open it back up, fold that piece down. And I mean, for something that I never, ever, ever really am ever going to use really ever again, I really do think this is kind of fun, honestly. I don't have any problem with this trailer, and it can also store the accessories as well. You can take the axe here, fold it up. It does have a little folding handle, which is really cool, and it is also held in with a pin, so that's really nice. And what you can do with that is you have these two slots right there, which you can plug the axe into just like that, and then you have these two slots right here on this side that you have these two slot pegs on the sword, and you can store the accessories in just like that, which is super cool. So there you have the trailer. Once again, I just don't care that much about trailers in general. They just usually go in the closet for me, and then I don't really touch them ever again. But I honestly think this is kind of cool, and I think it's kind of satisfying to open it up. So there you have the trailer. We'll talk more about that in the vehicle mode. Alrighty, I do believe that is just about everything to go over with the robot mode. Let's jump into the transformation. This transformation, in my opinion, is an absolute blast. Now, just like before, people who had the original version of this figure, they don't seem to like the transformation, but I absolutely love it. So begin by opening up his forearms, flip that in just like that, bring that down, flip that in just like that, give his arms a little rotation right there. They're going to look like they're popping off of this joint, but they're not. They're super secure on there. Do not worry about that. Then you want to come up here, flip these pieces up, and untab the shoulders right there. Just going to get them just like that, open up like that. Then you want to take this torso piece, fold this up just like this. You want to untap these pieces on the arms. These just tab back just like that. You want to open up the back piece, flip down the little jetpack piece just like that, and then we want to open him up. So we want to take your thumb, put it in the, kind of push it towards the back of him, and that's going to allow you to untab him from these two spots right here, just like that, and just kind of push those out of place. Although this is like the hardest it's ever given me. There we go. Fold that down, bring these down to the middle, and then fold it all the way back, which will allow you to fold them down all the way. What are you doing? There we go. So fold them all the way, and then that will bring it back up as well. And at this point, you have clearance to take the arms, throw them into the back just like this. Make sure that the arms are perfectly good. Then you want to flip this little panel of the with the head on it. You want to fold this to the back just like that. Get all that nice into a nice little package. Then you want to take this piece, which I've heard a lot of people like to pop off, but on mine it stays absolutely perfectly. And then you want to fold that down, rotate that all the way down into there. Come down here and bring these pieces up and tab them together. Fold those pieces down just like that. Then you want to tab his feet together, flip up these little pieces on his knees right here, fold the feet in just like Earthrise Optimus Prime. Then you want to bring it down, rotate the torso, bring it all the way down, bring the entire legs on their joints back just like that, tab that into a little slot right there on both sides, you get a little tab right there, tab that in just like that, bring this piece down just like this, and then take the arms and tab them into the back right there. It may look a bit messy on camera, but it is in fact an absolute blast of a transformation if you ask me. And now we're on to the real reason why I love this figure. Guys, I am not usually somebody who cares much for vehicle modes over robot modes. There's very few examples of Transformers I prefer the vehicle mode over the robot mode. This is one of them. Oh my god, I love this vehicle mode. Now, admittedly, this is not the way I love it. What I love is when you integrate the trailer into it. So we're going to put it back into its standard configuration here, which to show you can close the, well, unless they untab like that, which is not something that ever usually happens, but I did happen next now, so there you have that. Oh my god, stop it! You never did this before. I did push on the door, so maybe the door made them pop out or something like that. There we go. So plug that in there, do that, bring that down, and now we can complete the vehicle mode. And this is why I love this vehicle mode. I couldn't show you, I couldn't give you the appreciation that this glorious vehicle mode gives you with just my hand. So here you have it, a gorgeous shot of this vehicle mode with all of its bright, vibrant colors right there. A combination of bright and vibrant. I love this vehicle mode in ways I can't even explain. This actually might be my favorite vehicle mode of any Transformer ever. It is just gorgeous in my opinion. And this single-handedly makes this trailer absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. I honestly think the size is absolutely perfect of the trailer. I know some people are saying that the old one was so much bigger and so much cooler, but I think this looks absolutely fantastic for the size of this figure and this figure and I just think it works really, really well overall for the figure, man. And like, this speaks for itself. Look at this freaking vehicle mode, and it rolls like a dream as well. I love this. Okay, let's have these pieces not tabbed in. There we go. Rolls like an absolute dream right there. And look how cool this figure looks from the bottom there. I gotta say, one of my favorite things about this figure is how nice it feels to slap those pieces down just like that. That feels absolutely amazing like that. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this vehicle mode, man. It is truly, truly glorious. You have these flames right there harkening back to the Bayverse. Very much appreciate that, man. As a Bayverse fan, I really appreciate that. Well, as a fan of the first 3 Bayverse movies, I really appreciate that. Super cool. Once again, we do have the feet just kind of hanging out on the back just like the Earthrise figure, but hey, it's not that big a deal. I think it does a decent job of blending in. Would I have preferred if it hit a little bit better like on the Lego Optimus Prime? Yeah, that Lego Optimus Prime, man. I want that figure, I really do, but it's just really expensive. But I like the way that the feet transform in that Lego Optimus Prime where you fold it to the back and it looks a lot more cleaner than this. But still, yeah, I think this looks really, really great nonetheless. So there you have the vehicle mode. I will show you some comparisons. For comparison, we're going to do 2 different kinds of comparisons in vehicle mode. First, we're going to compare him without the trailer. So here he is with the Earthrise and the Siege molds without the trailer. So you can see he is a little bit longer than them. You can see he's basically, so you basically have like the figure and then you have like the little nose sticking up at the end there compared to the Siege and the Earthrise. So that is pretty cool. So you have that going on right there and just a little bit more shots. And then here it is with the Studio Series Bayverse Optimus Prime. So you can see how it compares with a very similar truck as well. So there you have that. You can see we're clearly taking some inspiration right here from the Bayverse with the truck and the flames right there. So that's pretty cool. Here he is with Bulkhead, another legacy figure right there. And just for fun, here he is with Studio Series Mixmaster, one more truck. And here he also is with the Core Class Optimus Prime and Deluxe Class Sideswipe. Okay, so now we have the trailer. Here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime with the trailer. Here he is with Siege Optimus Prime, or Nemesis Prime in this case, with the trailer. Here he is with Bayverse Optimus Prime with the trailer. Line them up right there. You can see Bayverse's trailer is a good bit longer, but it's got a lot more going on. Definitely the most intricate trailer that we've gotten so far. Here he is with the Siege Cybertron Optimus Prime. Big old trucks, man. And here he is with Rodimus Prime right there, who absolutely dwarfs him as he does for pretty much everything else. So there you go. There we have that. And once again, Mixmaster, Sideswipe, Legacy Bulkhead, Core Class Optimus. And let's jump into the final thoughts. I absolutely love this figure. I really cannot put that into words enough. I love the robot mode. I love the transformation. And I absolutely adore the vehicle mode. The vehicle mode is, in my opinion, the best part of this toy. If you are going to get this figure, I would highly recommend getting it for this glorious vehicle mode, because I mean, it speaks for itself. It is just absolutely amazing looking. I love the flames. I love how he feels. I love the transformation on this guy. It is so satisfying. It is so well done. And the robot mode is a ton of fun to play with as well. It is a near perfect laser Optimus Prime, in my opinion anyway. Now, once again, if you had the original toy, based on from what I've been hearing, you might not like this figure as much as I do. So please keep that in mind. I love this figure, but if you had the original one, it might be a different story for you. So I did just want to say that. I would recommend going and checking out the reviews of Hamman and TF Collector. They both made excellent reviews from the point of view of people who had the original toys. So check them out if you're interested in knowing more about this from a different point of view. So you have both sides of the story. Check out multiple reviews of this guy so you know what you're getting into. But I really do love him personally. I genuinely love this figure. It is my favorite figure of 2022 so far, and I really can't say that enough. I mean, just look at that. Look at that front profile, man. That is gorgeous. That is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I love this thing. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing. I actually have to show something one more. Okay, I apologize for this, but you can store the axe back here. You have these two tabs that you plug into right there, and then the sword can be stored on the bottom right there. So you don't even need the trailer. You can store both of the accessories on the truck mode, and I think it looks really great. That actually just looks like a trailer hitch. It doesn't even look like a folded up shield on the back. So yeah, love that. Okay, final thing I needed to say. So there you have it. Those are my final thoughts. I absolutely love this figure. I truly do. I personally give him an S+. I think this figure is just amazing. But once again, like I already said, check out some other reviews, see from some different point of views, and then make your decision whether you want to go out and get him. But I personally say S+, 100% must buy. So there you have it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you did, maybe give me a like, subscribe for more Transformer reviews in the future. We have finished up Legacy Wave 1, which means it is now time to do the Legacy ranking. We will be ranking all of the figures in Legacy Wave 1 from the worst to the best, although admittedly I think all of them are really great, so there will not really be a worst, but, well, except for maybe Skywarp. Okay, well, I kind of spoiled what is going to be the worst, but there you have it. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, if you did, then I already said that. And there's the guy Guillotine, signing out.